Hi, Vince.
What's up, Kathy?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It is hour 21.
How are you feeling?
I'm dying.
I'm going to interview you to start now. How are you feeling? Is the air conditioning,
is the air
conditioning
God,
working?
I feel
Yes?
so comfy right now.
Good,
These
okay.
seats are amazing.
Cool.
As you know, we at Transit Alliance love the TriRail.
Yes.
We cannot sing y'all's praises high enough. I think a lot of people don't know about the SFRTA, the South Florida Regional Transportation Authority.
Correct.
I got the full.
Got it. That's it.
The acronyms are hard, y'all.
Yes, they're very hard.
So can you tell us a little bit about the SFRTA's role in sort of the Tri-County, South Florida mobility landscape, and specifically around TriRail?
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. SFRTA operates the TriRail commuter train system. We go from Miami to Broward to West Palm Beach. We have the ability to run more regional systems. Just historically, TriRail's kind of been the bread and butter of what we do. But we're always looking for new opportunities to obviously grow the system. But yeah, our core function is running trains. We also actually maintain the South Florida Rail Corridor. So that's the actual track that goes between the Miami airport up to West Palm Beach. And we also dispatch the other services on the line, which are Amtrak and CSX.
Amazing. So TriRail has been in the news, or at least like article adjacent,
Yes,
over
we're
the
very
last.
popular now.
Yes. I mean, y'all are breaking some ridership records,
Yes.
like historically for the organization, for the corridor. A lot of really exciting stuff. You opened the downtown corridor. But some of the recent news have been sort of overshadowing. It's more so around the Northeast corridor, which can also be referred to as the coastal link if
Yep.
you're talking about the entire like sort of three counties connection. Can you tell us a little bit more basically as to like what TriRail's SFRTA's role in the conversation of that corridor has been so far?
Sure.
And honestly, let's dive a little bit into the things that are maybe a little bit up in the air right now.
Yeah, so the Coastal Link Corridor has been talked about probably longer than any of us have been alive. It's been a topic of conversation for a long time. It's basically doing like a TriRail-like system on the FEC railroad. That's where the Bright Line operates right now. And the goal is to put commuter rail on that line. It's come a very, very long way to the point where there is federal funding allocated to it, there's local funding allocated to it, and SFRTA has been working with the counties, and we've made it known that we would love to be the operator of that service, but it's being planned as a county service right now, so ultimately the counties will have to first get into agreement with the railroad operator, which is FEC and Brightline, and then into potentially agreement with us to be the operator of the service. But we've been working with them on some of the planning, and actually we're passing by the yard right now. And this is actually where, if Coastal Link comes to fruition, the trains will sleep at night and get worked on. So we're working with the counties to figure out how that's all going to work when that comes to fruition. So a lot of good local momentum on that project. Unfortunately, some of the money that was allocated at the state level in this recent budget cycle was moved to another bucket. I'm no expert in all the buckets of state funding that exist out there.
But it was previously in the New Starts program,
yes, in the
and
New
that
Starts
program was
program.
essentially
Slashed, removed, pivoted. Some people say it was by mistake. So obviously this is a tier 1 project for the region, and I know the counties, our team,
especially with the federal funding already committed.
The fact that there's already federal funding committed to it, like this is as big of a win of a project for transit in South Florida as there's probably been in a very long time. So we're hopeful that that gets all corrected, and we're gonna, wherever anyone needs us, we're gonna be there.
Amazing. Is there any other transit service that runs along the three counties? Is there any other provider?
There's a couple express buses that some of the counties runs between the two counties, but I believe in terms of the three, we're the only public transit service that goes to all three.
And the only one in like rail.
Yes, the only rail,
Okay.
Yes.
Any other existential threats that you want to touch about this war? Like things that SFRTA feels like people are talking about, but are whether you are whether they involve SFRTA directly, but are definitely part of this conversation?
Sure. So funding's always a big one, right? And like in addition to that New Starts issue with the funding, the funding that we get from the state was also kind of tied up in the same situation where there was an allocation that we were expecting, and then once the budget passed, that money was now not there anymore. So we're deep in those conversations with the local counties and the state to figure out what that amount should be from the state to fund us. We still haven't received actually a formal proposal from the state on what they think that amount should be. So it's still very much in limbo right now, but we always tell folks I'm generally optimistic that something like this is going to get figured out. But we always tell folks, like, if you're a rider or you want to see TriRail or any other rail system grow in South Florida, always like let your electeds know. They like just transit's important to you.
Absolutely. All it takes is a phone call to your elected officials at the state level, even at Congress level, because they all talk to each other, they all meet. But definitely at this point, it's a state centered issue, let's say. And all you have to do is call up the staff and tell them, I really appreciate TriRail. If you use it, tell them why you use it and why it's important to you, and that they should fund it.
And we love tours. We love tours. So if you haven't been on our system before and you are elected official, like, reach out to us. Like, we do tours all the time. We'd love to have you on board.
Absolutely. Let's think ahead. Eat, pray, love that Northeast Corridor Coastal Link becomes a thing. Can SFRTA speak a little bit to the connectivity improvements that you believe such a corridor would bring?
Yeah, so the really exciting part is we actually extended our service to downtown Miami and the Miami Central Station where Brightline is. That sort of acts as the southern terminus of the coastal link. So that would be, consider that like Station 1.
Yeah.
And then the service would go north up the corridor to Aventura. That would complete the Miami-Dade segment. And then Broward's working on doing half of their segment from Aventura to the south part of downtown Fort Lauderdale, which would include the Fort Lauderdale International Airport. So
that's awesome.
And they're pretty much on the same timeline, so you could get a commuter rail service between downtown Miami all the way up to downtown Fort Lauderdale, which would be huge because as South Florida's developed over the years, most of our urban core in our downtown, where a lot of people live and work and where the density is, has been around that Northeast corridor. And while Brightline's great and solves a really important market, there is a commuter kind of everyday rider market there for some infill stations that isn't being served right now.
Absolutely.
So it would be a huge game changer. A great bus service on those parts of town, great connectivity, great street grid. It's a no-brainer. It would be huge.
And I mean, the context of the possibilities of that service and the demand for it, I think, is just observing the 95 at peak rush hour. The amount of people that honestly are having to leave Miami because of affordability issues are similarly facing really extreme costs for transportation, moving to Broward and then having to commute still to Miami. So we're really talking about a demand that we already know it's there. It's not even about creating the demand.
Correct.
It would be an absolute game changer. And to clarify from your point, I think it's important for folks to know that there would be those infill stations in between downtown and Aventura. So it's like even additional neighborhood level access that this potential project would provide.
And a cool little fun fact is we've been planning for this and the region's been planning this for a long time. When Brightline built the Aventura station, actually if you go to it, there is a commuter rail platform built as a part of that station right now, waiting for the local service to come in. So you can actually see it.
They're waiting for us.
They're waiting.
Thank you so much for
sure.
all the insight. Anything else you want people to know about TriRail and SFRTA?
We are here. We would love to have more folks on board. If you've never tried us before, please come out. We run 365 days a year. On the weekends, fares are only $5. So if you don't want to come out during the week when it's busy and hectic, come out on the weekend. Take maybe a trip down to Miami or up to West Palm, and download our new app. We have a new regional app that's just come out where you can pay for your fares across all 4 transit systems in South Florida on one mobile app. So give it a try.